of those people we can find some sort of a warm lead and introduction to. We have like amongst ourselves, like 5 of us from the core team, we definitely have enough network that we could have almost, I think, to all of the names mentioned, some warm introductions. So to some, I have closer relationships myself, some I don't, but I'm sure that once asked, like some of my friends, you guys, we're going to be able to pull some closer relationships there as well. So from my list, like indeed, that's more or less like the general take on how much I'm affiliated with them or not. Yeah, so should we go now one by one from the list?
Yeah.
And then maybe indeed you can do like, because I want to hear you speak more now. You know, you saw what I've done and what I've written. So I just want to hear indeed, like from your perspective, how you see that a sponsor, like specific sponsor would look at it. So do we start with Aave then? Or was it Linnea?
Let's look at your list.
Linnea.
And your list is Linnea, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's start with Linnea. So you can go ahead, through your analysis of the tiers, right?
No, I don't know about Linnea much, so I'm looking at the website now. Why is it on the list?
So they're notoriously known to sponsor the outliers. Kind of like the events that they sponsor most of the time are, they have a lot of the leadership team of females as well. And they always are super happy to sponsor like events that contribute to community building, like integrations. They always are one of the main sponsors of, for example, SheFi. I would say one of the bigger prominent like institutions to onboard females into Web3 as an educational institution, but they also throw really, really nice and organized conferences. Oh yeah, that's why they are on my top list. They always like their merch is always very organized. They always do different types of events as well. For example, the last one that I attended, they had artists on board. So first you came, they took a picture of you, digital picture, with your consent, and then the robot printed your picture of like kind of just black lines outlining your main features of the face, and then they gave that print from the robot to an artist, and artist customized that piece, and then you could use that card as your like more anonymous way of going around the conferences and showing to people like, yeah, this is kind of my card, this is who I am, and you could write like your socials if you wanted or a little description about you. And it was a great integration. It worked so well because everyone was sharing this on social media, and I knew that like, okay, their branding, their marketing team is working well. I also specifically asked the artists, like, where are you guys from? You know, like, are you working from Linnea? And they're like, no, we're actually from Brussels. And the event was hosted in Brussels. So they paid attention to details. This is not the first time that I noticed that they're paying attention to details. They support type of organizations and events that I think we also fit into that segment. So that's why I kind of put Linnea as one of the tops.
Cool. Okay. Like events, you know, so I'm wondering if I can get some gauge into their merch and their I mean, I'm going deep, but I don't have to. Okay. It looks like a fucking boring, like useless type of, you know, Web3 thing that just like fucking luckily to get like some probably couple of millions. That's why they're doing this.
Oh, yeah.
And they have like access to a good talent. And in terms of what they're actually doing and, you know, how they're contributing to the Web3 ecosystem, I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's go on. I don't have anything to say about their sponsorship tier kind of thing. I don't feel strongly about them yet. We can go on, and then I'll have a little bit better picture to compare, you know, the notes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lens.
Do you know Lens a bit better, maybe?
Yeah.
Nice. So, let's do Lens. That would be helpful.
So why is it on the list, just from your perspective? Again, we can just start with that.
Again, they have a large access to diverse community members as well. Like I see them at the events that they host, and I see the sponsorships that they do. And it also fits in the segment of the type of events that they sponsor. And they have a large outreach and reputation from the community. Like by reputation, I mean that the people that do follow them, they most of the time deliver high. Like these people are more top tier, they're corporate. Like at this point, they have to be like by the investments that they have. They're not, but they are the ones that would potentially have that amount of money to give it to us. Not like 5,000 euros, but actual 70,000.
Yeah.
They're also on top.
Cool. Yeah, I agree with them being on the list. I don't use Lens. I think they're extremely exclusive and unwilling to, be open to people who are not in Web3 in so many different ways. Like if you look at their website, you'll see right away mint a fucking profile. I'm like, no, that's not what I'm doing. Like this is not how you want to like treat someone. When you get them on the landing page. I think. But I always see them, at events, and I always like speak with people from there. Definitely, good curation, the good HR, work. I can sense that it's quite corporate and quite organized. So I'm very curious. I think they would be a good, candidates for the top tier. And then we'll kind of like color, the rest of the partnerships in many ways. Like this is kind of lends to be as like a Google of Web3 in not in a decentralized way. There are many Googles of Web3. You see, so I think this is a very good partner. I think they're like much more aligned in my perspective than the first one. Just because, not because I know them, but because the brand name, how it's kind of positioned. And how people that at a conferences are actually real people that I'm, have connected with and really look forward to, work with, spend time with, on their mission. Okay, awesome. Let's go on. We have Lens. I would, like, if we can, like, I would like actually like start, prioritizing things just to have a little bit more of, kind of results from this meeting. Is that okay for you? Like that's what I just did on Notion.
Sure. I just added like exclamation points because I'm gonna move indeed like the things around.
Okay.
But if you move it manually already, that's also great.
Yeah, I can do that. Okay, so then Aave obviously with Lens, it makes sense. Not even gonna go on there. Okay, then so I'm looking at family now. Why is that on the list? How connected are you to them?
Yeah, I know some community members that work from them, and like internally they are very like they're very much pushing to create a branding that they're trying to onboard non-Web3 people.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to work in establishing their UI, and that's also like where I would love our event to be positioned, that we are trying to onboard Web3 people into it. So that's why like the way they're making that crypto wallet is to like be more accessible for businesses that could actually utilize it, but they don't necessarily know how crypto world works and they're not as technical. And their recent sponsorships as well, like that they sponsor, I think they gave quite a good amount of money for her DAO as well in SheFi. So I thought we would have a good shot.
Awesome. Yeah. I think they could be tier 1 or 2. I'm not a lover of wallets. I don't trust any wallet out there in the market. I mean, it's just me. But again, like choosing one wallet makes us like it's going to be hard to get another wallet, as a partner. So we have to be like very smart about selecting like a wallet category. I would say, like they wouldn't want to be with another wallet in many cases.
No, I agree. Like indeed, like maybe layer 1, layer 2, they would want to or could share, but the wallets are definitely not the ecosystem where they would want to share the space with others.
Okay.
So I agree with you.
Like when I think about the wallet, I think we're sharing a target audience, and that's good. That's good stuff. Okay, I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put family as the top tier candidate as well, if they have the funds for these kind of things. Let's go on. ANS. ANS. So is ANS as an organization actually sponsoring events?
Yeah, they do sponsor.
Okay. This is cute. I think it's good to have them, and it will be really interesting if they get in. What was your way of thinking with them, including them?
Well, again, they just have abundance of money. Like their funding is one of the largest ones. They have very organized teams.
Yeah.
They have great connections to Ethereum Foundation, and because it is going to be DEF CON, like they're gonna I think they are gonna want to contribute to the events that are kind of like trying to make a change as well. They're always also kind of organized in that sense. They have also their marketing strategy. I think we would fit into their marketing strategy that they're trying to onboard new people, that are trying to be more inclusive. Are they doing that exactly? That's not my due to say here. I do think that they are someone that we would fit what they're looking for, especially during those weeks.
My assumption would be that they already have like that they've been sponsoring before and they'd like be wanting to continue potentially these kind of brands. But we can always still include them and reach out and say get them into a different tier just because they're sponsoring as a main one and one event. It doesn't mean that they're not gonna agree for the second one, I guess. Like, we'll see. Okay. I mean,
yeah, I do think that they're gonna have more like established, and they would want more established like people also to go with. And I do know for a fact like they have a couple events that they are always a sponsor on. So here we would definitely need like a warm introduction from someone to, I think, have better chances of actually getting like money from them. Yeah.
Okay, I put them still on the tier one because the money, kind of like I would like look at them as brands, right? That are more luxury compared to from what I'm seeing in Linea. I'm seeing it more of like again mid range, mid brand. Okay, so let's go on. Harpy. I don't know about Harpy actually. What was your logic with them?
Yeah, I actually did some like hackathons where they were present, and I really enjoyed their team, and they're very like down to earth approach. They also like few times that I met them, they had queer team members on their team as well. So that came more from like me knowing a bit more like people that work there, and that they would support our ethos rather than me like thinking, oh, their marketing or like branding is cool. So that came more from like, okay, they're hiring these types of people. I think they might want to take on our initiative as well. And they do have funding, like they have a bit more money now as well. So I think there is a chance there, maybe for like a third tier more.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know if it's like mostly American-based brand or European? Do you have any insight on them?
They're remote. So the people that I know that used to work with them, like they were European actually. So.
Yeah, I'm curious. Okay, I like them as like tier two, potentially, or tier one. I mean, again, I don't want to talk tiers because I don't think we speak the same language. The entry level one, actually. Yeah, like because it's just like freaking just a security, wallet security. Like it's not, it's important one, like in terms of like just Web3, ecosystem, but in generally, uh, yeah, like from perspective of a visitor, they would be like monetizing on the next potential NFT or slash RWAs thing, like helping people protect their assets. So I think this is going to be a big opportunity for them in the future. So collaborating with them early would be nice, but I really dislike their branding. I really dislike their logo. I think they're just lame. But all right, no more judgments. Let's go on. Harpy, it's okay.
Yeah,
okay, I'll just put
I also
Harpy.
trying like not to be nitpicky, and move a bit like
I'm
move
just
forward,
I'm
because if
channeling.
I picked
I'm
on
just
like visual basis, I would
first
not pick almost
impressions.
any of these people.
First impressions matter. They do, especially when like I'm looking at things online. The first impressions matter because when people will be check each other out, in terms of partners, will be checking each other out, and or people like looking at their look at all the sponsors we have. They'll clicking the links. They'll be like brought into these like universes, and I want these universes to be like almost like one, like very unified and kind of coherent. And Harpy looks like it's actually, I'm sorry to say that, it actually looks the opposite of they're trying to communicate. They're trying to communicate security. Hi. Hello. Am I being silenced for my